That's a legend you have. We're not even going to go there.
Anyway, let's bring it in. And honestly, I have to talk a little bit of shit to start this off. I went on an absolute burner this weekend, betting wise, on FanDuel Sports. If they ever want to reach out to me and give me some like free bets, that'd be great.
They want to sponsor the pod
or that. But I went 14-2. I'm just gonna go over what I hit if that's fine with you to start off.
Yep, hit me.
Okay. So let's start on Thursday night. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown first touchdown score plus 950. Boom. Then I had a 2-leg parlay, Lions plus 7.5 paired with the under. Boom. Then I slapped the money line at halftime plus 360. Cashed. Then on Saturday, I'm riding with the Buffs until I can't anymore. Plain and simple. They could be 75-point favorites. I'm placing them minus 75.5, and I'm watching them every single week, and I'm getting fired up. Plain and simple. And if you don't do that, you're not a fan of football.
Sanders is primetime television. No pun intended.
He's primetime television. I have a 12-1 ticket for Travis Hunter to win the Heisman. I think he probably ends up on stage. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, that guy is insane.
At this point, yeah. Him and Shadur are both, I mean, right up there.
They have to.
When's the last time? Has there ever been a time where two guys on the same team have been invited? I can't imagine. I don't even know. Maybe an Alabama team, but even then, I don't think so.
I don't remember. Nothing pops into my head, but I think that I don't think Travis will win it unless if he just starts absolutely going stupid. But I definitely can see him up on stage because what he's doing is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, unless he just starts going crazy, and he could have a very, very good offensive year, for a two-way guy, but he has to be above, he has to be great on
he had
one side of the ball.
He had 100 yards and an interception week 1, and then he had 70 yards and a pass deflection. So I'm just saying, if you're doing that on each side of the ball, you're playing a lot. I just feel at a point they're just gonna default invite you.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep up at that pace, it's gonna be hard to keep him away from that stage, away from that ceremony. But yeah, they're both so awesome to watch.
So sick. And it's all, like I said, you're not American if you don't ride with the Buffs. I'm riding with the Buffs until I can anymore. I'd rather get burnt by them than not keep betting on them at this point. Screw it. I hit their money line week 1 for plus 890 and I had them at plus 21, and I hit them last week for just minus 2.5. And I just feel at this point, it's a respect play.
They got Colorado State this week for College Game Day. I'm trying to find the line here. I would imagine that's probably a late game.
I have no idea.
But regardless, I think they should win that game. And then I believe they have Oregon the following week, and that'll be a legit test. Yeah, so they play Colorado State at 10 Eastern, and that line's at 23. So I'll be taking that.
They're minus 23.
That's right.
Wow, that's insane. Anyway, back to my 14-4 weekend. Right after I hit the Buffs, South Carolina minus 16.5 against Furman. My buddy told me to take it. I took it out of respect. Missed on Bama. They look terrible. I don't know. I just don't understand what happened when all I heard all offseason. Listen, I'm not a big college football guy, but I pay attention. You hear all offseason, they're big, physical, they're going to win with their run game, and they're going to play tough defense. They come out in the first quarter, they're running the ball like a motherfucker, and I'm like, oh, they're physical up front. And then over time, Texas just looked far superior up front than they did, unless I'm tripping.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I think Quinn Ewers did a good job, definitely manning that offense, and I don't know what Alabama has at quarterback. Milrow's a phenomenal athlete, but I think he looks to run too soon. And I think that's where he's comfortable is on the edge and when he's out in space. But he's got to stay in the pocket a little bit longer and look and make some more reads across the field. Now, he did have a phenomenal throw late in that game on his Russell Wilson moonball type beat. But, I mean, I don't think this is going to be the same Alabama team that we're used to seeing. But it's week 2. I could be wrong.
And listen, honestly, the one thing that stuck out to me is like if he's that great of a runner, which he was fucking electric, like needs to be more designed runs. And I think that like the notion that he probably should stay in the pocket a little bit more is like why? Like just let him run the football if that's what he's good at. Like I feel like that's kind of where they messed up. And honestly, that dude's got some zip whenever he throws the ball. Like it's not very accurate, but he like zips the ball. Like some of the throws he's making, I was like, holy shit, this dude's ripping it.
Yeah, I think he has a good arm, but I mean, the accuracy, like you said, isn't really there. And unless they start to change that offense to meet his strengths, I think we'll see more Alabama losses.
I respect that move. All right, back to it. Hit on the over on that game, lock. And then boom, Sunday, 49ers money line boosted to like plus FanDuel is giving me 50% boosts all over the board, and I'm absolutely ripping them. The Steelers line was the biggest line of the entire weekend when I looked at it, and I'm listening to like all these shows and all these people. Bill Simmons picked the Steelers to go to the Super Bowl. Like all these people are talking about it. What we're doing from now on for the rest of our life is week 1, whichever team was the best preseason team, we're betting against them because that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, didn't the Lions have a season where they won all 4 preseason games and then they went 0-16?
They went 0-16.
Yeah, so
it means nothing.
The preseason means nothing as far as wins and losses go. I mean, I think it's important that you get your guys out there. I think we saw that with the Eagles and the Bengals that you might want to have your starters play maybe like 1 or 2 drives, but we can save that for later.
Yeah, definitely. All right, back into it. 49ers. And then I texted this to you, I believe. This is my can't miss 3-leg parlay of the week. Rookie quarterbacks haven't won a game in week 1 in 21 years. Went Jags, Falcons, Ravens. Not only did they all win, they all covered.
Yeah.
Boom. I think I texted this one to you too. Ridley over 63.5 yards. The Ridley and Trevor Lawrence connection looked all time. They're real. They're going to be good.
It's real. I don't want to overreact because it's still week 1, but it looked very good. 101 yards, I think he had.
8 catches, 101 yards, and a tutty.
Yeah, I mean I do think we see more of that throughout the season. Calvin Ridley's a dog.
Yeah, dog. He was before. It's good to have him back out on the field. Boom, right back into it. First miss, Chargers second miss, Chargers -3. I don't know. I don't know what was going on in that game. Obviously, an absolute offensive explosion on both sides of the football. I don't really know what excuse the Chargers have because usually it's, they're not healthy on defense. They had all their guys. They had Derwin James. They had JC Jackson, Bosa, everyone. They had everybody that game. They were full strength. They just didn't look great. And I think, and this is something that I think that is a good thing to talk about currently is like, I've thought this for a very long time. Tyreek Hill is undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the NFL. And it's not close. He's such a dynamic weapon that like it's at any point in time, he can get the ball and take it to the crib. Like, I think that there's probably a little bit more technical route runners that are like better at certain things than him, but from like an absolute like weapon, like he is number 1 in that category, at least in my opinion. But I don't know what you think about that.
I mean, I have Tyreek Hill in one of my fantasy leagues, and he put up 44.5 points. I think that guy is electric as absolute fuck. And I think you're right. I think he is probably the best weapon that a team can have. Um, Best wide receiver from like a technical standpoint. I agree with you. I think Jefferson runs better routes. I think Devontae Adams probably runs better routes. Diggs, but it's you can't teach speed. And if you can just run by everybody, then you're gonna have success if you can catch the football and you can have somebody that can get you the football. And I think we just saw Tyreek Hill like reiterate just about how fast he is and how solid he is as an offensive weapon.
What's
On Sunday.
What's really underrated, and I don't think a lot of people talk about, is everybody like always looks towards like, okay, like did this guy run a fast 40? When exclusively all of like the good to great wide receivers in the NFL run like 4.5s to like 4.7s, and they're like technical and like really good. And the faster wide receivers kind of don't pan out usually. And I mean, Waddle obviously is in this conversation as well. He's really good, but Tyreek Hill is clearly on another level. So to see somebody who's like, one, he's kind of small, he's really fucking good, and he's really fast. Like, I just don't think that there's anybody like him in the league.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, he's small, but he's also jacked. But
yeah, for sure. He's like thick.
Yeah.
He has like a fat ass too.
Yeah, it might be
Like
Kyle
basic,
Lowry.
yeah,
It's like Kyle Lowry.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, there's honestly nobody like him. Everybody else is like, I mean, everybody else is like a little taller, slower for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the faster receivers don't really tend to pan out. But
like John Ross.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly who I was going to say.
Like,
John Ross is the first guy that came to mind, but Tyreek Hill is just unreal.
Yeah. Anyway,
and I think it's going to be him and Jefferson. I think they could both have 2,000 yards.
Man,
which is crazy.
I think that Tyreek Hill is the one to do it. I think Justin Jefferson is going to be right there. But like I said, I think that to hit that 2,000 yard mark, there's going to be some games where I feel like Justin Jefferson doesn't really have like that, like real, and we're splitting hairs at this point, like that real, like playmaking ability that like Tyreek Hill catches a 15-yard dig and he takes off 60 yards to the crib. Like, I think that's going to be like the difference with like the yak. Like Tyreek Hill has such an ability to create more yak than he does. And I think that's where the 2,000 yards would come from.
I do agree. The yak of Tyreek Hill is going to be greater, but for whatever reason, when I watch Justin Jefferson, it almost seems like these guys aren't even covering him. That's how open he's getting.
Yeah.
And if it's just going to be that all year, you don't need to have that insane yards after catch if you're getting 15 yards every time you catch the football.
It's a good point. It's a great point.
But I think what it comes down to is quarterback play for both of those guys. Because Tua, if he gets hurt, then Tyreek Hill's not getting it. And if Kirk Cousins continues to be Kirk Cousins, then it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
All right, let's get back into this. So Devontae Smith, anytime touchdown score. I don't know. I was watching the Barstool stream and Jersey Jerry was like, I love Devontae Smith to score this weekend.
That's right.
Dude. I was like, all right, I'm taking it.
Dude, I feel like everybody, after they have a kid, they score. He had a kid on Saturday, the night before, and then scored Sunday. So we need to keep an eye on that. Anytime a receiver or running back, tight end, anybody has a kid, keep an eye out.
I'm writing that down. What a fucking look. I don't actually know anybody who's had a kid and hasn't had a touchdown the next game.
It's wild. It's so crazy. I mean, the Fred VanVleet effect is also real because he wasn't that good until he had a kid, and then he just started going crazy. But that's basketball. So that's
fucking crazy.
All right, what else you got for me?
My next miss: Seahawks look terrible. I think it was a little bit of a trap game for them. Like looking back on it now, I mean, I don't have the exact stats in front of me, but the Rams always give the Seahawks a tough game. I think it's more of like a McVay kind of has Pete Carroll's number.
I think McVay's still a phenomenal coach.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And Matt Stafford we had a vintage Matt Stafford performance. He looked amazing, and the Seattle offense just couldn't get it going. I think they had 4 yards in the second half. Definitely not great for fantasy for anybody, and definitely a wake up call for Seattle.
It was rough. I started Geno Smith in I think 2 leagues, and he got like 9 points.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
Next game, this one hits a little home. I had the Patriots +4. I absolutely love that line all week. I was on it. I had it earlier in the week at 4.5, and then I rebetted at 4 because I was just like, bro, this is gonna hit. Obviously, we all saw how that played out. Mac Jones, they scored a touchdown. Mac Jones literally trots in 2-point conversion. We're set. Next thing you know, holding call gets called back, misses it. Jalen Hurts runs the ball up the middle. Jabril Peppers absolutely steps up and rocks him, jars the ball free. Honestly, bro,
that hurt. That game hurt to watch.
And listen, I like the Eagles too, and I just felt like it was a bad spot for them. And I mean, the Eagles are going to be fine. It was just an ugly game, and I really do like wholeheartedly believe that like the Patriots are just a good football team this year.
Yeah, I think they are too. There was a reason that game, that line was at 3.5, 4 kind of the whole week. The Eagles came out hot, but Mac Jones actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that is partially due to Bill O'Brien, and now that they have an actual offensive coordinator. But good teams win, great teams cover. So.
That's true. That is true. And honestly, real quick, I have a very strong opinion of Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is damn good. I think he's really slept on. He went to the playoffs rookie year, disaster second year. I think that a lot of things played into that. And then like seeing him go out this past week and fuck up early and come back and like still ball, have 50+ passing attempts, and the wide receivers that he's doing it with. And we talked about it literally last week. I was like, none of their wide receivers are great, but they all have guys that can do stuff, and they're going to be able to play their roles. And if it wasn't for Kayshon Boutte, who can't get 2 feet in, he missed two big time catches where he couldn't get 2 feet in.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Kendrick Bourne look like Randy Moss, apparently. Yeah. I don't think he looks like that all year, but I thought he played well. I think that he's going to be all right for them. I mean, the catch that Hunter Henry had on that one, like 4th down, just one-handed snag.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Mike Gesicki was making some plays.
Mike Giuseppe made some good plays. But yeah, I think that offense looked a lot better than last year. And like I said, I think it is partially due to Bill O'Brien. That offensive line actually wasn't terrible. I mean, the stats might not back it up, but they had 2 guys out, and I feel like they did a pretty good job against a good Eagles pass rush.
Good is not even the correct word. Is every single player on the Eagles defensive line is elite. The fact that the league let Jalen Carter fall to the Eagles is fucking disgusting. And everybody is going to regret that because he's already really great.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem. I'm ecstatic that he's on my team. So I can't be happier. He's going to be a beast, and I want to see him. I think he had like 40 snaps. I don't know the total number of defensive plays that the Eagles had, but I wouldn't hate to see that increase depending on how many plays they had on defense.
Yeah. Well, the next one wasn't really feeling a side on the Cowboys-Giants game. It had like stink potential all over it. Luckily, we sniffed that out, but I put $6 on the Dallas Cowboys to have 7 sacks to win 225. and it hit. Bro, I was literally in my room. The game was 40-0, and it was the last drive of the game, and they sacked Daniel Jones, and I was literally like freaking out. I was like, holy shit, let's go. Like just a stupid bet, but it cashed. I'll tell you what, the Giants looked awful. I don't think it gets much worse than that, but kind of what we were talking about week one. I really deep down believe that it's the Cowboys' year to lose this Super Bowl. I think the AFC looks a lot weaker than what it did last year. I think that it's going to be hard for the Eagles to get back. They're still probably like my slight favorite above the Cowboys, but if I'm just going based off the fact that the loser of the Super Bowl usually doesn't repeat going back, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's kind of the Cowboys to lose this year.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys looked great. We didn't really get to see them on offense a ton because their defense was just like dominating that entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't really see them do a whole lot on offense. That defense is fast. That defense is legit. I think what I gathered from this weekend is that the three best teams are probably in the NFC.
Yeah, I would agree with
Eagles,
that.
49ers, Cowboys are probably, at least after week one. I mean, all three of those teams won. All three of those teams had hard fought. I mean, the Cowboys Giants game was terrible, but I think the gap between the AFC and the NFC as far as the best team goes is not far, but I think that we saw how good the NFC was.
Yeah. Which is interesting because last year all you heard about was, well, the AFC's quarterback talent is so deep and the NFC's weak.
I know
now it's like you kind of watch week one, and like I said, it's easy to probably overreact to week one, but I just think that like what we saw out of like the top three NFC teams is they're just very complete on both sides of the ball, and like that's kind of what you're looking for.
I mean, it's definitely better than what we saw out of the Chiefs. I mean, there's definitely flaws there with the Chiefs. Now, obviously, they didn't have two of their best players, but that receiving core was a little sketchy. The Chargers and the Dolphins look really good.
Yeah.
Chargers were another team.
A lot of points.
Correct. Yeah. The Chargers were another team that people were pretty high on, and they're probably just going to do their normal Chargers thing that they always do, unfortunately. Who else we got? Bills.
Wait, hold on.
We'll get there later.
We can get into that literally right after this. Lastly, this is how I ended it on Monday night. I'll tell you what, I was down in the dumps watching that Monday night game. I have Garrett Wilson in fantasy. You have Aaron Rodgers go down in the first 75 seconds of the game. Then I had Jets money line and Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown scorer. The fact that those two things hit is repulsive, and I'm grateful for it. But right now we can get into kind of what you were just talking about. Like, what did you think of the Aaron Rodgers injury and that whole debacle?
Sucks. I was looking forward to at least seeing, even if the Jets weren't good, I still wanted to see them go out and have a full season with Aaron Rodgers and sort of see what that looked like. So that does suck. I think Garrett Wilson is really good. I feel really bad for him that he's going to have to deal with Zach Wilson for a full season. But Zach Wilson did what he needed to do. That defense is insane. Josh Allen also looked horrible. I don't think he ends up looking that bad all year, but that was not by any means a good game from him.
Yeah,
I mean, he was throwing Hail Marys left and right to I'm drawing a blank on his name. Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead. He was throwing bombs. You would have thought he was on the Bills at this point. He just didn't get it done. I don't think, like I said, I don't think he looks that bad all year, but that was ugly.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I do think Josh Allen looks that bad all year. Since 2018, he's come to the league. He leads the league since 2018 in turnovers at 39. I mean, it's who Josh Allen is. Josh Allen literally can't help himself by doing ridiculous things throughout the course of the game. I saw Sheila Kapadia and Ben Solak talking about it the other day on The Ringer, or yesterday on The Ringer, and they were like, they showed a clip of Josh Allen on 1st and 10 jumping up into the air and getting fucking drilled. And it's the first game of the season. It's 1st and 10 and the game's not online. I think that Josh Allen's a reckless player. I think what goes back into what we talked about week 1 is what the Bills haven't done is going to really show out this entire season. I think that the Bills will not make the playoffs. And I'm not trying to like overreact or like be hot takey or anything like that, but you go out, and I know that you just said like Zach Wilson like did what he had to do. Zach Wilson was so bad that they couldn't do anything to like have them secure the game. They had to play super conservative. If it wasn't for Garrett Wilson, I said it right after it happened. He's the only person that can make that catch because no one has ever made a catch that looked like that. He reached with his left hand across his body, tipped it to himself and caught it with one hand and brought it in. I think that the Jets are fucked. I think that the Bills losing that game is ridiculous and inexcusable. And I don't know how you can look like from a coaching standpoint, from a team standpoint, and like look at each other and like, where do you go from here?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's time to overreact. It's week 1. That game is obviously going to look bad on their record and on the schedule moving forward. But I mean, there's plenty of time to get it together. I would like to see the Bills add another like legitimate receiver. I think Dalton Kincaid's all right at tight end. Dawson Knox really doesn't do a whole lot for me. Yeah. And then Diggs is obviously just Diggs, and he's a beast.
Yeah, he's good.
I thought James Cook looked all right. I just don't know if I really love the personnel around Josh Allen outside of Diggs. And I didn't even think they really did anything besides that draft pick in Dalton Kincaid. And like I said, I think he's going to be all right, but I don't really think he has much to work with. I do think that Josh Allen plays reckless, but I do think sometimes that kind of plays to his advantage. Cause I mean, at this point he's won football games. He's won playoff games, but at some point he's got to sort of reel it in a little bit. Like that play where he jumped from what I don't remember where he was at on the field, but it was like 1st and 10, like you said, he just jumps in the air and gets like speared. Yeah. There's no need for that. Just slide. Just don't get hurt. I mean, if they do make the playoffs, he's the only reason why they're doing it. So you have to be smarter. You have to be smarter than that. Don't take a stupid hit. But I don't think Josh Allen's ever going to change. That's just the player that he is. So
you might be right. And honestly, I really want to talk about this Jets thing. I think that the only way to describe it is a complete catastrophe. I mean, if you drew up like, hey, what is like the worst possible thing that could happen to us this season? Aaron Rodgers goes down with a season-ending injury on the first drive of the year. Like, you actually like can't get any worse than that. And I think awesome, amazing that they went out and won that game, and they played super tough and they did what they had to do. Breece Hall looked amazing. Garrett Wilson's an animal. But what it's going to come down to throughout the course of the season is, and I know that like Nick Marquardt, my friend, he works at the barbershop. He was texting me today like Zach Wilson's the guy, and he's going to get it done for us this season. I was like, I actually like feel bad that Jets fans like had to go through what they had to go through last night. And I don't really think it's going to fully set in until like 3 weeks of watching Zach Wilson and being like, wow, we really don't have an offense anymore. And we wasted another year of all of these great skill players and a year of this great defense.
Yeah. So the Jets schedule also does not favor Them, like, they have to go to Dallas, and then they've got to go. They're back in New York against the Patriots, and then they play the Chiefs at the Broncos versus the Eagles. So, I mean, that could very well be 4 out of 5 losses.
Yeah, they're screwed.
I do want to say Breece Hall looked like an absolute monster. That was sick to see him do his thing. You know who the Jets need? They need Carson Wentz. No, they need Carson Wentz.
Yeah, they need to go out. They need to go out, automatically sign Carson Wentz, and they're right back in the Super Bowl conversation.
I think he moves the needle.
Yeah, definitely. I saw a report today. It was like they're gonna reach out to Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, and Carson Wentz. I was like, I actually like feel bad. I feel bad for the Jets fans. Like, I don't think it's fair to what happened, and then to have to wake up in the morning and be like, yeah, we're picking between Carson Wentz, Phillip Rivers, and Matt Ryan. I'd be like, wow, we're so fucked. It hurts.
With all due respect, none of those quarterbacks should be starting a football game in the NFL ever again.
No.
Phillip Rivers has 35 kids that he needs to take care of. Yeah. Matt Ryan, I mean, we saw Matt Ryan on the Colts, what, 2 years ago?
Last year.
Oh my God, wow. Yeah, that we all saw how well that went. And then Carson Wentz is just, God knows. He just let him go out and hunt, do his thing.
Yeah.
Hang out with his dogs. He'll be fine. He's made enough money. I would not want him running my football team.
Wait, hold on real quick. If I see Jamel Hill tweet about Colin Kaepernick needing an NFL job, like, shut the fuck up. Like,
I hope that was a joke.
It wasn't. She's every single year we see this bullshit about how Colin Kaepernick wants to sign with an NFL football team. Buddy, it's over. You're cooked. You haven't been good in a long fucking time. You weren't good towards the end of your career. I'm happy that you got to do social justice shit and got to do what you did. Keep doing that. Keep doing your thing. You are not an NFL quarterback anymore. And the media who tries to say that he is, like, they're just doing it for fucking clicks, and they sound like clowns.
Yeah, it's tough. I saw that tweet too. I mean, it's been 7 years since that guy's played football. I think he's like 39, maybe not that old, 38, 37. Dude, just give it a break.
He's fucking cooked.
Just give it a break. I mean, we don't want to see guys that played in the NFL last year come back and play.
Yeah, we just said
I don't understand why we would want to see somebody that's been out the league for 7 years come back and try and play.
Yeah. Like game, I couldn't imagine dropping somebody in who hasn't played in almost 10 years and seeing how they would react. They would just look terrible because the game has changed so much. Not only has it changed, the speed, you're not used to it. Like, it's so different. Like, I'm sure Colin Kaepernick can still walk out on the field and is a great athlete and has a fucking arm on him. But when it comes to like processing NFL defenses and playing with the speed, he doesn't have it anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah, fully agree.
Any other games that you want to talk about?
I don't think we even touched about. I don't think we touched on the Bears and Packers at all. And I did kind of want to bring up.
Go ahead.
I thought Jordan Love looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think last week we talked about how we kind of expected him to have a decent year and the Packers to be pretty good.
We both picked them to win the division.
He didn't have his number one weapon, and they still went out and put up 38 points. Now, I don't know if the Bears are going to be good. They still might be the same old Bears as last year, but
they suck.
He looked good. I mean, he didn't, like I said, didn't have his best receiver, went out there, 245, 3 touchdowns. I hope Aaron Jones is all right. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's a good weapon for a young quarterback. He's reliable as hell.
Safety valve. He's a safety valve for any young quarterback. But yeah, I think we're going to keep an eye on him for the rest of the year. But I would say that's a pretty good start to your season if you're Jordan Love and the Packers.
Yeah, you gotta feel good about that.
I do want to put one thing on the record. I have a friend that's a diehard Packers fan, and he thought they were going to suck. Devin, if they don't suck, you're going to have to deal with the wrath of me, even though it's good for you that they're good.
Yeah,
Still fuck you.
Yeah, facts. Keep going to any games that I talk about you want to talk about.
So let me see what else we got here. We could talk a little bit about this Bucks Vikings game. So I did not think the Bucks were going to be good.
Okay.
I don't know if what I said about the Vikings, but I did not expect them to come out here and lose this first week. I think that Kirk Cousins should give the ball to Justin Jefferson every single play. Yeah, that guy was running wide open the entire game, and for whatever reason, he just stopped throwing it to him in the second half. You have a generational wide receiver on your team, and for him to have less than 3 targets in the second half is unacceptable. I did want to say, I think all of like the cool rookies scored a touchdown this weekend.
Jordan Addison looked cool.
Yeah, Addison scored, Bijan scored, Anthony Richardson scored. There was another rookie that scored.
Real quick, back to that Bucks Vikings game, and I want to touch on Justin Jefferson real quick. I really don't think that the Bucks are going to be good, and I think that they're going to suck all year. I think they're Drake May, Michael Penix, Caleb Williams contention, and that's going to be their thought. I really think that everybody underrated how bad every single move the Minnesota Vikings made in the offseason were. They didn't do anything. They lost a lot of key defensive pieces. They got older. They thought that paying TJ Hawkinson was smart. Don't really love what the direction that they're going or what they're doing. And I really think that you see them finish closer to the bottom of their division this season. Like we talked about last week, a lot of luck played into their record last year. They were 9-1 in 1-score games. I just think that both of those teams are bad. And I think that those are one of those games that you walk away from. You're like, oh, wow. Like the Vikings at the beginning of the season losing to the Bucks. Like that was the snowball effect for like what they were going to be this season.
Yeah, and now the Vikings have to go into Philadelphia on 3-4 days. We're at like 4 days, and good luck.
Yeah, literally.
I think that line's already at like 7.5.
7.5. Yeah.
I think as bad as I think the Eagles looked, I think they cover that. I think they probably end up winning by 10, 14 points.
I respect that.
One last thing that I wanted to touch on was Zay Flowers. My guy, Zay Flowers, looked good. I want to see him get the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's my offensive rookie of the year pick.
Mine too. We both have it booked. We both have that booked.
Yep. I thought he had a good first game. I mean, I think I guess he's wide receiver 1 over there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know Odell's washed. I mean, no disrespect, but I was out in Vegas for the East-West Shrine game, and I actually got to interview Zay twice out there and talk to him and get to see. Bro, first day, we went over to the practice field, and he only practiced the first day and then sat out. When I watched him at practice, I was like, this is literally Antonio Brown. Like, he was just so much better than everybody else. And it was just like, holy shit, like this dude is like the real deal. At that time, it was still even in question that he was going to be a first round pick. And I remember sitting there and I texted Andrew and my boy Wise. I was like, Zay Flowers is a lock to go in the first round because he's like that good. And then on top of it, all you heard the entire week from the Patriots coaching staff and the Falcons coaching staff was this dude's character is like a 10 out of 10. Like great locker room guy, a joy to be around. Even when he was around us and our crew and Adam and everything like that, big smiles, like saying what's up to everybody, dapping us up, like really great dude. I'm happy to see him succeed. And he's honestly somebody who I would love to get in fantasy because I truly think that he's going to be one of the best wide receivers Lamar has played with so far in his career.
Yeah, that list of wide receivers isn't great. Like the bar's not set very high, but
fair.
I think he's going to be really good. He had 10 targets, 9 catches. I mean, can't really ask for much more than that. I'm excited to watch him play throughout this year. I mean, it gives me a reason to watch the Ravens. And it gives Lamar a legit weapon. Would like to see him find the end zone a little bit more. Obviously, it's been one game, but I think those will come. I wonder what's going to happen when Mark Andrews gets back, but I think you can't stop feeding Zay Flowers after his week 1 performance. I think you got to keep it rolling.
Definitely
keep feeding him. So, yeah, that's all I got for you for week 1.
Perfect, and I think that this is a good segue. And we kind of talked about Justin Jefferson. Very, very sneaky. He is extremely unhappy with his situation in Minnesota. I know the contract dispute, not even a dispute really, but people have been talking about it, and he pretty much said that he doesn't care about the contract right now, and he's still going to go out and perform. I think it's deeper than that. I think he's kind of really pissed off that they won't secure that future with him. I mean, he's one of the greats and a sneaky team, and somebody who he has a really great relationship with. And I actually could probably see this happen. Cardinals have 2 first-round picks next year. Kyler Murray and Justin Jefferson are literally neighbors out in Scottsdale, Arizona. They train together in the offseason. They do a ton together. I know that Justin Jefferson is definitely on the Arizona Cardinals radar, and I could definitely see that if the Cardinals have 2 of those top 5 picks, that I know a lot of people are sitting here clamoring like, you got to take Caleb Williams, you got to do that. Really don't see that happening. I could see them trading back one of those picks, taking a position of need for them, and then trading one of those other picks to acquire a premier talent at wide receiver like Justin Jefferson, and kind of securing like the K1 Justin Jefferson duo. And the only reason I think that is, one, I know for a fact that Justin Jefferson's on the radar, and him and Kyler are like actually boys.
So my only con to that is you could get Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison and have them both on rookie deals. And I also don't think if the Cardinals bringing in Justin Jefferson, I don't think that automatically makes them a title team. I think they need a lot more. So my only thought process to that would be keep your 2 picks if you do have 1 and 2, take Caleb, take Marvin Harrison Jr., and then you still have money to build around those guys because they need a lot of help elsewhere.
Yeah. I think probably what you're definitely, and I think it's going to be a shock to a lot of people to be in this situation. I don't foresee the Arizona Cardinals getting rid of Kyler Murray. I just don't see it happening. I mean, they think really highly of him, and the new coaching staff thinks highly of him. The GM thinks highly of him. He's done a complete 180, and he actually cares. And I think that injury was like a big wake up call for him. And I think that the relationship between him, Steve Keim, and Cliff Kingsbury was like way worse than we could like ever imagine. And the ownership made those moves, and I think he's kind of like really bought into what they're doing out in Arizona. And I think that you keep somebody like that around who is proven, like when he's healthy, he's a top 10 quarterback and an MVP candidate. And I just don't see how you can trade somebody with like Kyler's like ultra talent away for, and I know that like we're sitting here, and do I think there's any chance that Caleb Williams busts? Like, no, probably not. Like same with Drake May, but we know what Kyler is, and I think that they like him. So that's kind of the direction I see them going is keeping K1 and kind of going that path rather than the path that like everybody thinks that they're going to go with. Like they're just going to take Caleb Williams next year.
Yeah. We also, I think it was this week where Caleb Williams' dad came out with a comment about how like he said Caleb would stay if it's not the right fit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably talking about the Cardinals, but I also want to put this out there that you just need to relax as a father in that situation. Like, don't like what like your kid hasn't even entered the draft yet. You're like, don't be that father. Don't be like, I respect LeVar Ball. Like he did his thing, but like, just please be quiet. Like, just let your kid go out and play. Let your kid make the decision on his own. Like, it gets frustrating because like, what are you supposed to like? I don't even know if his dad understands like how the NFL works. Like, if you're a bad team, you get an early pick. Otherwise, all the good players would just go to all the good teams.
Yeah.
Him saying that just made me like, it made me annoyed more than anything. Just
And
let your kid go out and play. Like, if you're a competitor, and I believe Caleb Williams is, why would you not want to go and try and turn an organization around?
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, anybody with talent can go, not anybody, but like, it's so much easier to go into a good organization and walk right in and have like a little bit of success. But there's gonna be those guys that go in there and turn around a bad organization, go down in record books, right? Like, that's what happened with Peyton Manning. Like, Peyton Manning, the Colts were not good, and he made them good. And Peyton Manning's a legend.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a competitor, I just want to see you go and go out there, and if you have an opportunity to go play for the Cardinals, and even though they might not be the best run organization, go out there and ball. Like,
but what situations are these guys looking for? I mean,
I don't know.
You're telling me
it's
that
annoying.
like you're telling me like, all right, I'm gonna plop down a 21-year-old in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is a fucking unbelievable place to live out on the West Coast. They're in. I would argue that the Cardinals are literally in one of the best. I know that they're not going to be good this year, but they're in one of the best situations that you can possibly be in. They have $1 million assets in an upcoming draft class that is universally liked and loaded. And they're going to be able to use the 2 draft picks that they have to either take superior talent or trade back, get more assets, and still take superior talent. So I just don't really understand what people want. And when you're looking at like the bottom tier of like the organizations right now, like, I'm just not really seeing how the Cardinals are going to be bad for like a long time. I just don't see it happening.
I'm also looking through right now, and it almost feels like every team that's bad or gonna be bad has a quarterback already. Yeah. I mean, it's the Buccaneers, who I don't think will be very good, and the Cardinals. But then the Texans, I don't think they're going to be good. They have a young quarterback. The Panthers, I don't think they're going to be good, and they have a young quarterback. I mean, everybody else is kind of going to be like outside of that. I mean, I don't know what I don't freaking know. The Broncos, like, what are they going to
do? yeah,
I don't even know if they don't even do they even have picks? Probably not. No. They probably went to Seattle.
No, they don't have
the Rams.
Picks.
I mean, the Rams could be bad, but who knows? I don't know. I mean, the Rams could actually be a spot where he ends up going, but I don't know if they have any picks either. They traded a bunch away to get
they have
a
first. They have a first this year. This upcoming draft, they have a first.
Everybody else has a quarterback.
Yeah.
So who
The
knows?
Falcons,
like Caleb Williams. I'm sorry, but you're not going to walk right into the 49ers and go compete for a Super Bowl. That's not how it's going to work. I'm sorry, Mr. Williams.
Noah's got a stern message for Caleb Williams, and I appreciate that.
His dad.
Caleb Williams and his dad, and I appreciate that, and I completely agree with that take and that little rant that you had. Thought it was great. Let's lead right into what you texted me about is this elimination pool. If you can, 1, explain it to the people, and 2, give your first week 2 teams, and I'll give mine, and we'll go from there.
So what I texted you about, I wanted to kind of have like an elimination pool scenario. Now, I don't think it's going to quite add up with the number of weeks to the number of teams,
Fair.
um, because I didn't really do the math on it. But basically, just pick 2 teams every week. If you get 2 teams wrong, you're eliminated. And I kind of thought about running that back just because what are we supposed to do if one of us picks 2 teams and they lose right away? I think we can just track it,
That
and
almost
whoever
happened to
ends
you.
up, it almost happened to me. And we just track it throughout the season, and like whoever has the better record, we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
So the 2 teams I picked this week were the absolute sweats, the Commanders and the Vikings.
Yeah.
Watching these games on Sunday, I fully accepted that the Vikings were going to lose, but I was like, I cannot go out this sad on week 1 and have both my teams lose. So thank you to the Commanders for pulling it off. So right now I'm 1-1.
1-1. I couldn't find our text, but I think I picked the Ravens and the Jags, right?
You had I think that's who you had as well.
Well, boom, went 2-0. I just did the rookie quarterback thing for the elimination pool as well. So 1-1, 2-0, and for my 2 teams this week, I have the New York Football Giants in a big bounce back week. I think that what we saw was bad, but if they can't get it done against the Arizona Cardinals, they should just cut everybody on the football team. So I'm gonna pick the Giants, and then on top of that, I'm gonna pick the New Orleans Saints against the Carolina Panthers. I think the Panthers are really fucking bad.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm looking right now. I don't want to do this, but I think I'm going to take the Browns.
Okay.
As one. That. And then as my other, I'm going to take the Bills. So Bills and Browns for me.
Who do the Bills play this week?
They play the Raiders.
The first place Raiders. Are you before you lock it in? Are you sure?
All right.
No, the Bills play the first place Raiders.
Actually, let me. I'm taking the Bills out, and I'm gonna take the Packers. So Packers Browns. Yeah, I'm sure about that. First place Packers. Tied for first place Packers.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's the little elimination pool thing that we have going on. And let's look ahead to week 2. I texted you literally yesterday morning, and I was like, there's 2 lines that I absolutely love. Let's get on them. I said Cowboys -3 against the Jets. This is before the Aaron Rodgers injury. That line is now at -9.5. Locked it in at -3. Feeling absolutely great about that. Never root for injuries, but I mean, fuck. And the other one that I'm on is Jags +3. I know Chris Jones is back. I really think that Travis Kelce plays. I don't know if he's going to be 100%. I like the Jags a lot in this spot.
In Jacksonville.
So those are the 2 look ahead lines that we already placed to start the week. So and I think that we can probably start going through the week 2 matchups if that's cool with you, and we can start with the Minnesota. We already touched on a little bit, but Minnesota and the Eagles.
Yeah,
I think we know how we feel about this one.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to go in there, and they're probably, like I said, win by 10-14. I think they win by double digits.
In Philly on Thursday night.
In Philly, Thursday night.
Come on.
Get fired up. Last time the Vikings came into Philadelphia, I think they lost like 24-7.
Yeah, they got smashed. And the
Vikings at that game.
The Vikings were 2-point underdogs.
Yeah, I think the Eagles probably win by double digits there. Moving on to Sunday, we've got Bears-Bucks in Tampa. How are you feeling about that?
Bears-Bucks in Tampa. I think the Bears are bad. I think the Bucks start 2-0.
Really? That line's at 3 right now.
I think I'm betting that's added to my card right now. Is Bucks +3.
It's Bucks -3.
Added to my card.
See, this is a trap game. I feel like the right answer is Bears, just because I think Justin Fields is going to be too athletic for Tampa Bay, but
this is my counterpoint to that. Tampa Bay,
the Bears defense is also fucking terrible. So
they're
Bucks
bad.
-3.
They're bad. They're bad, and the Buccaneers actually have the linebacking core to kind of to contain Justin Fields. I'm going to say it. They have the linebacking core to contain Justin Fields. They have the speed and they have the experience to do it. Like I said, I love Bucks -3.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ride that as well. Next, we got Packers Falcons. That line we already know Packers -2 as of right now.
We know how you feel about that. You picked them to be your elimination.
I think 2 is disrespectful.
I think I'm on Atlanta to win outright in that game. I think Atlanta's the real deal. I think that they can make splash plays on defense, and I think that they're going to be able to control this football game.
I might be riding high on Jordan Love, but I thought that Packers offense looked good. Now, I do want to confirm before I place any bets if Aaron Jones is playing. I think obviously that's pretty important, but if he's playing, I think -2 is low. I think they end up winning this game by a touchdown if he plays.
I respect that. We're on each side. Like I said, I'm pretty high on the Falcons this year, so I'm riding the Falcons on that. So
I also have a vendetta out for Desmond Ridder because I picked Kyle Pitts and they throw the ball 6 times a game. So
yeah, never take a wide receiver for Atlanta.
It was tough. All right, we got Colts Texans in Houston.
This is an unwatchable. This is an unwatchable football game. It's a stinker. It's going to be bad. Honestly though, what it comes down to is, and this is going to be crazy. Texans defense actually isn't that bad. And honestly, I think Indy has DeForest Buckner and Shaquille Leonard, and they're decent as well. And I think what it comes down to is going to be the rookie quarterback play. And if Anthony Richardson's healthy, and I think he is, I think he just got dinged up a little bit. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts. I'm saying it right now after watching 1 week of CJ Stroud. He's an absolute bust and he sucks. So I'm going with the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think both of these defense are like low key frisky.
Yeah.
But I do think it comes down to the rookie quarterback play, and I'm pro Anthony Richardson. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm riding Colts as well. All right, next we have this. This is going to be an interesting game. Lions Seahawks in Detroit. I think that what we saw from Seattle last week is not going to last all season. I really like the Lions offense, even though they didn't go out there and put up a crazy amount of points. I think they have some weapons. I really like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like we were saying last episode. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is electric. They need to get him the rock more, but I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about a 6-point spread here. I think 6 might be a little too much. I think this game's going to be a little
letdown
closer.
Clear letdown spot for the Detroit Lions after a big week 1 against the Chiefs at home. I did wake up this morning and saw the Seahawks sign Jason Peters to play tackle for them. They might be fucked.
Yeah, never mind. I'm going Lions.
I'm going Seahawks with the points. I think this is a letdown spot, regardless of the tackle situation. I think you just see a different football team this upcoming week from the Seahawks. On top of that, I do like them with the points, and I do think they win the game.
Yeah, I actually, regardless of the Jason Peters signing, he was great with the Eagles, but there was also towards the end of his career where I could pretty much predict every time he was going to false start. It seemed like it was every third and short in a big scenario. That guy was going to pull up and false start. And it pretty much happened every time. But I do think 6 is too much. And I think the Seahawks are going to, I don't know if they're going to win outright, but I do like this game to be a lot closer. And I would pick the Seahawks.
I respect that.
All right. Next, we've got Chargers Titans. This game is, I hate this game. I think this could be, the line right now is 3. I looked last night and I thought it was at like 3.5. But this is the biggest I don't know what to think game probably of the weekend. This could be a game where the Titans rush for 275 yards and Derrick Henry has 220 and 3 touchdowns, or Justin Herbert goes out there and throws for 430 and 3 touchdowns. I'm staying away from this from actually betting it, but if I had to pick, I would probably lean towards Chargers -3.
Complete week 1 overreaction, but I'm going out and sticking with this. Tannehill sucks. He's bad. He's washed up. They completely whiffed on Malik Willis, and Will Levis isn't good. And I think them not being able to figure out what they're doing at the quarterback position is going to hinder them for the remainder of the season. Derrick Henry's old. Tajay Spears actually outsnapped him last week, which didn't love to see it. I think we get on whoever is playing the Titans early. I'm going to just come out and say it. I was dead wrong about them. No chance they make the playoffs. I'm betting against the Titans every single week until people start to realize that they're actually a really, really bad football team. So I'm on the Chargers -3. I'm adding it to my card.
Yeah, I think that game against the Saints for Ryan Tannehill was rough. I think the Saints defense is good. Don't get me wrong, but 3 interceptions is horrible. That quarterback situation is not great. They did add Julio and he was all right, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you don't have anyone who can get him the ball. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to actually bet this game or not, but I would probably lean towards the Chargers if I had to. Let me see. Next game we've got Ravens-Bengals. The Bengals are a team we didn't really talk about, and I feel like we should because
not much to talk about week 1 for them.
They looked horrible.
Yeah,
they looked like they didn't do anything this offseason.
I think
now
that
it did rain, but still
doesn't mean shit in my opinion. We saw that last year. They went out in the snow against Buffalo and hung 24 on them in the first half. Means nothing to me if there's inclement weather. Plain and simple, flat out, that was a line and a game for people who don't pay attention in the offseason and were like, I'm betting Jamar Chase over and Joe Burrow over in passing and Jamar Chase to score a touchdown. That was for all those people to have their money get eaten up. Joe Burrow's inability to have a full training camp in the summer is going to hinder them for the first few weeks of the summer. And we talked about it last week, week 1. I said the Bengals are going to start off slow and they're going to end up missing the playoffs because of it. Again, boom. With that being said, I'm on the Ravens heavy this week. I know the Ravens didn't look amazing. I think that there's going to be some kinks in that offense until they figure it out, but I'm on the Ravens heavy this week, and the Bengals, until they're into the swing of things and actually practicing like together, this team is going to look discombobulated a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, T. Higgins didn't have a catch, so that's kind of concerning.
Yeah,
especially from that type of offense who can. Obviously, Joe Burrow can go out there and sling it around, but not having an actual preseason for Joe Burrow is not good.
We talked about it already.
They do start slow. I do agree with you here. I think the Ravens are the pick. I'm not ready to bet on the Bengals yet. I don't know if I will be. Maybe next week or maybe like 2 weeks when they play the Rams. But for now, I'm sticking with the Ravens.
What's the spread on that game?
Right now it is 3.5.
Ravens are +3.5.
Yes.
Give me the Ravens. Heavy.
Yeah, I think that Ravens offense looked good enough, and I don't really know what the Bengals defense is all about. So we're gonna have to
and we can dive into that a little bit. The Bengals sneaky lost Jesse Bates and Von Bell, and
that sucked.
They lost. I mean, it's Eli Apple, and I know everybody loves to clown Eli Apple, but I mean, he was a fucking starter for them all last season. They quietly lost a lot of starters on that defense. I think Joseph Asai is hurt. I'm not 100% sure. I think he is. So just sneaky. Love Big Lou. I think he's a great defensive coordinator, but the talent disparity across the board on that squad, I think kind of starts to show a little bit.
Yeah. I like I said, I'm not really ready to bet on the Bengals. So actually this line is at 3. Ravens +3. I like that. I think I'm going to add that to the card. I think 3 is good for that game. Raiders Bills. First place Raiders.
Okay, I this isn't a bet. I'm actually being serious. I'm betting the Raiders every week while they're healthy. While Jimmy G's healthy and while like their key pieces are like healthy right now, I'm betting on them. I don't care. I don't know what the spread is. If you can
8.5.
it. Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't think that they win the game, but I mean, an 8.5 point favorite when you're rolling out with I mean, they have elite players on that team. I mean, Jimmy G can get the job done when he's healthy. Josh Jacobs is elite. Devontae Adams is elite, and Max Crosby is elite. And I think that they're key pieces while they're healthy. I'm just going to take advantage of it. And I'm actually going to add that to my card too at +8.5.
Yeah, I think Jimmy G doesn't get enough credit. I feel like a lot of quarterbacks can play in Shanahan's system, but Jimmy G's won outside of that. He's had some good success outside of that 49ers system. I think that all they need him to do is be a game manager. He's got some good players around him. I do think this is going to be a fuck you game for the Bills. I think they're going to look better than what they did. I don't think they have to nearly worry about the Raiders defense like they did the Jets defense.
No.
I feel like 8.5 might be low. I think
it's a big number, man.
I think the Bills might come out and win by 10.
Then I want you to add that to your card if you're so confident.
I don't know if I like it enough, but
I think I want to see how confident you are about it.
I just can't see the Bills losing this game. They did look really, really bad, but I don't know. The Raiders played the Broncos, and I hate Russell Wilson, so I'm not giving anybody any credit that beats the Broncos.
That's fair.
All right. Yeah. All right. We talk about Packers Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 4:00 games. First one, Niners Rams in LA. All the stars will be there. LeBron's pulling up.
Will they be? You think so, actually?
No, I don't. I think there's probably the Cowboys. I would say I don't even know if the Cowboys play the Rams. The Cowboys, maybe the Ravens, Eagles, and Chiefs would probably be the only games that stars would pop out for at the Rams. Now, I don't even know what the Rams schedule looks like, but I just don't. Those are like the only teams that would pique my interest if I was out in LA and would want to go see them. Other than that, I mean, the Rams really don't have anybody worth going to watch.
I looked at this line earlier today. I know it's at 8.5. I actually bet it. I think
it's down to 7.5.
I think that I might re-up on it.
That's low. That's really low.
I think the Niners go in there and take care of business. I think what we saw out of the Rams was like a little bit of
weird shit always happens week 1 in the NFL. And I think that's exactly what we saw again this week.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think San Fran goes in there, takes care of business. They look so sharp. They look so good. I just can't really foresee them like just not looking good next week.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think this could get ugly. I love 7.5. So I think I'm going to take 49ers minus 7.5 as well. All right, this is your game. Giants Cardinals. What do you got for me?
I bet the line last week at minus 5.5, even before the 40-point blowout. The Cardinals are bad, man. And you're telling me if a playoff team last year can't win by more than 5 points against a team who's actively tanking, there's just problems. And I know that it's probably like, holy shit, well, the Giants just lost 40-0. I'm still on it. Like, I think that's a good line. I think 5.5 is fair. So I took that like literally like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they'll have to nearly. That offensive line didn't look good by any means, but the Cowboys pass rush is, I hate to say it, but it's elite. I don't think you have to worry about that with the Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals were frisky as hell against the Commanders, but I really know.
I can't name one person on their defensive line, and the commies suck. The Cardinals.
Oh yeah, no. Oh no. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that they were playing.
They're
frisky. The Commanders, and they looked frisky, but like, I don't think
that was a kitchen sink game. That was a kitchen sink game for the Cardinals, bro. They were literally like trying to beat the tanking allegations week 1. So now they
I mean, it's pure comedy. It's pure comedy when Shane Steichen comes out there and is like, "Yeah, I'm not telling you who the starting quarterback's going to be."
No, that's not the coach.
Jonathan Gannon. Oh no, he's at Indianapolis. Sorry,
Jonathan
Gannon. Actually, fuck that guy.
I'm looking for killers.
Yeah, that pew 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 pew.
I like Jonathan Gannon. He's locked in. That guy gets me fired up, honestly.
No, he does not get me fired up by any. He gets me pissed off because he came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna blame everybody else for losing the Super Bowl besides myself." Screw that guy.
It's okay.
Giants minus 5.5.
Yeah.
Send it.
Yeah.
All right. Jets Cowboys. We talked about this. This line started at 3, and we don't root for injuries, but this is good for us. It's already at 9.5.
Even even before the injury, I just think that like that line with -3 in Dallas with how good the Cowboys looked, like it just seemed too low. And I felt like those are one of the lines that were going to be at like 5, like in the Vegas zone, like 5.5, like when by the time game time started. And unfortunately, Rodgers' situation happened, but we're at 9.5 now, and fuck it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Commanders Broncos. Honestly, this is a game that does not move me whatsoever. I will not put my eyes on this game.
I don't even want to talk about it. We can skip if we can just skip over it. I hate the Broncos. Just skip over it.
Yeah. All right. Dolphins Pats. In New England, Dolphins -2.5.
As much as I love the Patriots and I think that they're going to be good this season, I think Tua is better. I think that this game has shootout potential written all over it. I'm on the over. We saw what could happen with the Eagles and the Patriots on a fucking rainy day. There's gonna be a lot of points scored. The ball's gonna be thrown an absolute fuck ton of times. But at the end of the day, I like the Dolphins at -2, and I think that they cover that number relatively easily.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know what the cornerback situation is for the Patriots for this upcoming week. I know that a starter was out against the Eagles, and that left them with a backup and a rookie. If
Christian Gonzalez is the real deal.
Yeah, he's good, but it could be his welcome to the league moment guarding Tyreek Hill.
True.
And I mean, I'll take Tyreek Hill against a backup and a rookie every day of the week. So I do think there's going to be a lot of points. It's 46.5 right now. This might be a game where I take the over and the Dolphins -2.5.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, Tyreek Hill, but I mean, Christian Gonzalez looked damn good against AJ Brown, and the Slim Reaper is probably my favorite duo in the league. And I think that he's going to be a really solid rookie. You see these rookie corners come in the league right away and kind of been making an impact the last few years. I mean, PS2, Sauce Gardner, and from the looks of it, it looks like Christian Gonzalez is already like off to a pretty decent start. He had a big sack. He made some big plays, big pass breakup. So I like what I saw out of him.
I did too. I just don't think he's ever seen anyone like Tyreek Hill. And
true.
When you get out on that field and he's running at you, it's a different speed than you're seeing versus anybody in that Patriots training camp, anybody in that Patriots camp, and anybody on that Eagles team.
True.
Now, obviously, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are both good, but they're not moving like Tyreek Hill's moving. All right, 2 Monday night games, which I don't like. I hate it. A 7:15 game and an 8:15 game. I mean, I'm not going to complain about more football, but I don't like that.
Yeah, I like the standalone Monday night games, but go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, first game is Saints-Panthers, Saints -3.5.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
The Panthers are bad, man, and there's really not much more to talk about. I mean, they're not a good football team. They're not going to win many games. Saints -3 makes a ton of sense to me, and
yeah,
I'm just going to roll with that, honestly. I'm just going to bet against bad teams until the line's going to be like -7 in 3 weeks. So take advantage of these lines early.
I also think 40. I also think I like the under at 40.
Oh my God, it's gonna be
it's so low, but I don't know.
Give it to me. I like it too.
Not having Alvin Kamara for the next couple weeks. I don't think we'll see the Saints defense really start to turn into full form until they get him back. I think the Saints offense could be decent once you get Kamara back, but until then, under 40 it is. The 8:15, we got Browns Steelers. This will probably be the game that I'm watching more so than anything. Right now, it's the Browns -2, and the over/under is 39.5, which is disgusting.
Wow, that is bad. That is really bad.
Yeah, I know I took the Browns in our elimination, but I do believe I saw a tweet about how good Tomlin is after losing week 1. He's like one of the best week 2 coaches ever coming off of a loss. So that kind of scares me, but that Steelers offense just looked bad.
Yeah.
And the Browns have a decent defense. Obviously not as good as the Niners, but I think they'll still be able to get after it and give Kenny Pickett a tough time.
Yeah. Matt Canada is an awful offensive coordinator.
Oh, he's fucking terrible.
In every single game that he's ever been an offensive coordinator, he's never had a 400-yard game. 400-yard games on offense happen 23% of the time, and he has had 0 in his entire career. Absolutely hate him. Deontay Johnson's not playing in this game. He's hurt.
Hayward's hurt too.
Hayward's hurt. Najee Harris proves to probably be one of the worst first-round picks taken in a long time. He's just flat bad. He doesn't really he just can't do anything. And I think he finished with like 20 yards last week. He broke 1 run. He's just not very good. And for a first-round running back that you kind of probably expected to have like some real like impact on your offense, he just hasn't done it. And I kind of don't foresee it happening. And man, I think that I almost kind of, I'm not willing to say this yet because I like Kenny as a dude. But I think probably the verdict's out on Kenny Pickett. He's not very good. And I don't think that they're doing him any favors with the offensive coordinator as well. That duo is brutal. This is another one of those teams that I think we take advantage of early in the season when they kind of had a little bit of an expectation walking into the year, and people don't really realize how bad they are yet. I think the Steelers are one of those bottom feeder teams, so I'm definitely going to be on the Browns for that Monday night game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the stats here from last week, and Kenny Pickett got sacked 5 times. Najee Harris had 34 rushing yards on 6 attempts, and they were losing that entire game, so they pretty much had to throw the ball. Regardless, not great. Not a spot you want to be in with a bad OC and a not great offensive line. Another thing, I don't think the Steelers have put up 30 points as an offense under Matt Canada, which is also concerning.
That's a fact.
So, yeah, I think the Browns are the play here. I think this could be another one of those games where you bet 7 sacks for a team.
Yeah. You know what? I'm definitely gonna look at that, because rooting for sacks might be the most electric thing that you could possibly do on an evening.
Yeah.
But that's a good call.
I saw that when you sent it to me, and that's after I looked at these games, that was kind of the first thing that went to my mind after seeing that Kenny had got sacked 5 times. So that might be worth throwing a couple dollars on.
Yeah, nothing crazy, but just enough to get the blood flowing. And once you get to that 5 mark, you start to feel it a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, that wraps up week 2. I love it. I'm so happy football's back. It feels really good. It's just like I literally was so locked in all weekend. I was sweating, like just drinking a ton of water and just locked in. Like you can't really beat it. But
dude, on Sunday, I had Chipotle, and then I had wings from Aruga's.
Yeah, so, your stomach is probably torched.
Dude, Monday morning at work, when I took that first sip of coffee, I sprinted to the bathroom.
Bro, you were probably torched, bro. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I'm still not fully recovered, but we move on.
Bro, real quick, the fact, if you would have told me that our first video would have even gotten close to 100 views, I would have literally just been like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, 100 views was more than I was expecting as well.
I thought it was gonna get like
thank
15.
you everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Fuck. I thought it was gonna get like, bro, all jokes aside, I was like, well, if we get like 15 likes, that's pretty good. Like I said that, like, or not 15 likes. I was like, if we get like 15 to 20 views, like that's pretty good. Like for your first YouTube video, like honestly, like that's kind of, and I kind of expect that for this video too. Like if you can get like, I mean, fuck, 50 views even. It's just crazy to think to me that 100 people watched it. Like my fucking mic keeps my mic. Can you hear my mic keeps turning down?
Yeah, I can hear you. You've been going louder and quieter here and there.
Is it bad?
Oh no, you're good. I do want to bring something up. This is breaking news, but Baby Keem will not be buying the iPhone 15.
Bro.
He's going to be waiting for the 16.
Bro, I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw that on Twitter. I
can't believe that's not getting more traction than it is.
Bro, when I saw that on Twitter a little bit ago, I was appalled. I mean, good for him to stand up and speak out. Like, what a statement by Baby Keem.
He's 2-phone Baby Keem, too. What is he going to do?
Just keep two 14s or 15s, whatever the fuck it is.
It'd be 2 14s. You got to respect a guy like that.
Definitely. No, and honestly, like, it was cool to see like a bunch of people, even that I'm cool with, like reach out and say what's up. Me personally, I'm just trying to fucking figure out how to make YouTube thumbnails and make a little bit of an intro and like just kind of make it like look a little bit cooler. I mean, I know that we like talked about that. So it's just like, bro, I don't know how to fucking design. I'm just watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, I don't either. So anything that you do, I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, like it's like late night when I'm fucking sitting at my computer and I'm bored and I'm like, you know what? Like I'm gonna fire up Photoshop real quick and watch a YouTube video and see if like this looks decent. So it's kind of like how I'm coming up with some of the ideas, and I've really wanted to get better, bro. Some of the FX shit like that I sent, the one that I posted on my story of like that guy like putting in like
cranking, yeah,
bro,
pause.
like yeah, big pause. I was watching some YouTube videos of like some FX stuff, bro. That stuff is just like, one, it's like so hard and it's expensive. So maybe at some point I'll look into getting it and maybe cook up some cool stuff. And honestly, since the last time we talked, it actually got, bro, first off, real quick, the videos that I've been seeing at the Drake shows look like it's a retirement home. The shows don't look lit at all. Let's just keep it very real right now. Like, I saw a video of Derrick Rose playing chess. Like,
yeah, that was bad.
I saw a video of a girl like dancing in the crowd, and everybody was just like standing there. Like,
the Derrick Rose video was a tough scene. That's so disrespectful.
It's so disrespectful. I just think that like I feel like for the way that Drake performs, it would, and I've always said this, he signed a residency out in Vegas for like 15 years, and he does like kind of smaller venue type shit. Like, bro, getting to see Drake in like that environment and like a small venue, like a little bit more personal, would hit way harder than standing in an arena, because the way his like songs are and the way he performs, like, bro, that would hit so hard to go to something like that. But I don't know. I just been seeing videos. I'm just like, what is going on at these Drake shows? Like, these people are like, they don't even deserve to be like standing that close. Like, the highlight of the show seems like when he walks out, and then after that, it kind of dies down. I have heard that 21 Savage is like brutal live, like all time bad. Like, multiple people have told me that. So I think that probably could like play a little bit of a role into it. Like, when the opener is like kind of flatlined and then Drake walks out. But I don't know, just an observation I had.
I think the walkouts are sick.
So cool. Such a cool concept.
Like when he walked out with like Booker and KD when he was out in Phoenix. He walked out with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton when he was in New York.
So cool.
Which was awesome.
So cool.
The video of that girl coming up and singing Hours in Silence, impressive.
Yeah.
She bodied that.
Yeah.
But I can see how 21 Savage probably would be rough to see in person.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't surprise me hearing that it wasn't great, but nevertheless, I think that majority of people that I would want to see in concert, besides probably Travis and like Uzi, I would rather see them in a small scale venue, how you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to see Uzi, if I'm going to see Travis Scott, like, I'm there to get going.
Yeah, to open
but
it
if
up.
if I'm there to go see like Drake, it depends what type of maybe even like Future might be better in a smaller
I think so too.
venue, depending on like the type of album that he is like playing a lot of songs off of.
I just don't get where like this notion has like came about, where it's like we need to do these arenas. We need to do these arenas. Like,
it's
why?
Just bread. They want bread.
It's bread, and I get it, but like for the overall like consumption and like how it would be taken in, like I just feel like as a business decision, it would just, bro, these guys make so much money. Like, at a point, like I just kind of like don't really understand like as a bit, like, why is Little Baby on, like, and you saw it, like he had to cancel like 70% of his arena tours because the tickets weren't selling. And I just feel like that's like a bad move on him and his team for not kind of like having that like wherewithal to be like, man, like, let's just do like smaller venues and like maybe even clubs and crack. Like, let's go to a club and perform 8 songs and like have it crack instead of like having to do like a 2-hour long performance, and it's like really not going to hit that hard.
Yeah, I think for a situation like that, like trying to go to a smaller venue, but if you're somebody that's like as big as Drake, I I know I said bread earlier, but I think he probably just wants his fans to be able to see him. And
Access, yeah.
yeah, and the best way to get as many people to see your shows is going to be an arena. But like Drake's not somebody that's going to have an issue selling one of those out.
Bro, I really could see Drake being like one of these summers, and I'm not sure when it would be, and it could be like 5 years from now, doing like one of those like Taylor Swift type vibe shows where he's like he's on stage for like damn near 3 hours, like doing like serious work. And like,
yeah,
I think that's probably like where I would want to see him, because I think that kind of makes the most sense, like to just like sell out a stadium, because you know you can do it, and like just have him like fucking lock for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that would be a show that I would need to go to.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Middle of the, I mean, maybe not middle of the summer, but early summer.
Sweating my ass off.
Yeah, the heat of August, just as hot as it could possibly be.
That's
I'm singing every word.
Bro, when people go to those outdoor concerts at like Hershey Park, when it's like 147 degrees, I'm like, I don't want to stand outside and sweat my dick off for 8 hours. Like,
no,
sounds terrible.
No, honestly, it sounds terrible. And then I know that some people, like, if it rains, you're fucked too. Like, I get, like, you want to watch the concert and you want to be there, but I genuinely don't want to stand in the rain for 2 hours and watch somebody eat, no matter how much I love them. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I've never personally, I've never loved anything, but I definitely like understand where you're coming from.
Exactly. Yeah.
Real quick, because we've been going for an hour 30. These go way by. Sorry if people are watching this deep, like it's just really easy to just like let this time kind of pass. It doesn't really feel like we're going for that long. But Drake announced that he's dropping a new single this week. I'm excited to hear it. Don't really know what it's gonna be. And he announced the date as September 22nd, or right? So is that right, or 26th? Right. So we're 22nd. 10 days away from the album. Actually, next Friday the album will be coming out. So I guess one question I have is, any idea of what the leak is the single is going to be? And two, like, do you have any kind of like theory or anything like on the album, or what the vibe's going to be on it, or do you not care? Like, what do you think?
So the single, I'm not really sure. I know that I keep seeing songs like pop up on TikTok that are leaks. I don't know if those are like an intentional leak or if those are actually songs that were leaked, but the couple songs that I did hear, I never know what like the actual name of them is called, because it's just some random like 16-year-old that's like posting it on their TikTok and they call it whatever they like, whatever line is in the song. So I don't really know. As far as the album goes, I've been hearing and seeing that it's like some of his best stuff. Like Yachty even came out and was like, now Yachty's obviously not like an objective third party or anything. He's best friends with Drake. So what's he supposed to say? But I would say, yeah, this is going to be the worst album he's ever done. But in reality, I fully expect it to be very good. I'm looking forward to it. I know last time I mentioned that people were complaining, and I just wanted to like reiterate, it's not worth like getting upset about. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, knowing that it's going to come out is already good enough. It's just a matter of when. And now it's just a waiting game until next Friday. I'm excited. Like I said, I don't really know what to expect. Every once in a while he'll like start to put out like feelers here and there as to kind of who's going to potentially be on the album. Like, I know when he put out not Her Loss, but the one before that, there was a bunch of posters and billboards kind of hinting at who some of the features would be. And then for Her Loss, the album promo was him and 21 Savage on all of that. It was like a Vogue cover.
Bro, that was Stern. Bro, Howard Stern. Show some
Howard
respect.
Stern, sorry. Howard Stern, GQ, Vogue, all that shit,
Bro, that
which
was
was
the
fire.
coolest shit that he's done in a long time. Like, bro, I love that. Like, that was the cool, like the fake tiny desk, like
Yeah.
the Vogue cover, bro. So sick. Like, love that shit, bro. I'm still fine. Watching that like makes me want to be like, hopefully one day can be involved in some sort of like shoot or something like that that can get pushed out to the public with that good of an idea. I love that. One thing that hurts a little bit for me is Zane Lowe came out on BBC Radio 1 and he said that he listened for all the dogs, or I guess some sort of version of it, and he said that the guest contributions on For All the Dogs is industry shaking and never done before, and the feature of dreams. And then
Dude, I saw that too.
The next song that he played was Frank Ocean, Nikes, right afterwards. And obviously,
I saw that wasn't real.
Yeah. Then he tweeted it and said, "Not true. Haven't said a word about the Drake album."
Yeah.
And I hardly ever speak on Frank, and I haven't been on the radio in the last few weeks. So honestly, that was something.
Your mic is cutting out a little bit.
That was something that I was kind of really looking forward to, and damn, that sucks. But
they catfished you.
I got catfished on a feature of an album. Like, I was so juiced up when I saw that and was like, bro, that's gonna be like, that is like a dream collab to have Drake and Frank Ocean on a track together. Looks like I'm never gonna have it. So, but that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I was also catfished by that. Got way too excited when I saw it. Unfortunately, we'll probably never get it, like you said, but we can dream.
Definitely.
We can dream.
Or AI can produce it for us.
That would be great. But yeah, I still think it'll be good. Honestly, he'll probably have like Travis on there. Future will probably be on there. He normally keeps those two guys around. 21 will probably be on there.
Bro, if there's a 21 feature on this album, I'm throwing the track in the trash. I'm done. I'm done hearing 21 on everything, bro. Done.
He's just boys with Drake, and there's no way that he's gonna go on tour with him and not be on this album.
I get it, but fuck, man. Bro, real quick, last thing. Did you see the robots that were at the Chargers game?
Yeah, I did, for the movie promo. I forget what the movie's called, but I saw that.
Oh, it was for a movie promo?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then never mind then. Like, I didn't see that. I saw a tweet that there were robots walking around, and I was literally dead shook. I was like, we're going to all fucking die soon. False alarm. Never mind. Let's just scratch it. I mean, that's all I got. I mean, unless if you have anything else you want to talk about. We're an hour and 37 minutes in.
That was for the movie called The Creator.
Okay.
It's a human versus AI sci-fi movie that's coming out September 23rd. So that was the promo. Yeah. You got catfished again. But
twice
robots
in one episode.
Yeah, those things were actually freaky. And I could have done without them.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more at ease. Thank you. Like I said, that's all I got today. I mean, unless if you have anything else.
Nope, I'm good. That's all she wrote.
Episode 2 in the books. Hopefully I get my audio issues figured out. My interface is like going like this. I don't know why I'm not touching it, but hopefully I get these audio. It's AI. Hopefully these audio problems get fixed. Great episode. Good talking to you. And like I said, I try not to talk to you throughout the entire week so we can save it for this. So that's why I take forever to text back, because you will ask me something. I'm like, I'm just gonna save it. I'm just gonna fucking save it for the pod. But great talking to you, and let's go out and have a good week too, and let's watch some good ball, and let me know if you see anything.
All right, same time next week. Go Birds.
Yes, sir. See you, brother.
See ya.